Switching. Switching.
Summertime and promoters get sleazy. Summertime corporate bands get greedy. When they play arena shows with $7 bottled waters, a whole week's paycheck to take your son or daughter. Dead Kennedys bought a ticket to see Jello, but he wasn't there, and I was like, hello. Kill, kill, kill the poor punk rock anthem. Then I went to see Sublime, and I was like, damn son.
Sublime with Rome is not the same thing as Sublime. Sublime with Rome was depressing and did not feel right. It's not the same, it's not the same. The with Rome part was printed too small. I saw the name, I'm not to blame. I thought it might be cool, but I
paid $50 to go and see the Woo, but ODB's son kept missing all the cues. Plus Raekwon's mic kept going in and out. When did ripping off the fans become what music was about? A Nirvana reunion, they never would do it because the band was current and everyone knew it. When MCA died, yo, the Beastie Boys said that's it, we're done. Now make some noise, you know.
Sublime with Rome is not the same thing as Sublime. Should have had stayed home or at least been charged one third the price. It's not the same. Seemed like a good idea at the time, you know. It's not the same. Get down to only one original guy.
My seat is miles from the stage, sitting up in the back row. Rome was born in '88, so now I'm feeling hella old. The Dalmatian spot seem painted on this band I've always meant to see. Live Nation Santeria on my adolescent memories. Just like the Misfits,
It's not the same.
or Guns N' Roses,
It's not the same.
or Black Flag.
It's not the same.
Posthumously half reunited bands are so disappointing.
Sublime with Rome is not the same thing as Sublime. Sex Pistols, how's it changing? Can't be that they can't retire.
It's not the same, it's not the same.
It's not the same thing as Sublime.
It's not the same, it's not the same.
Not the same thing as Sublime.
Good
Well, at least their
morning.
T-shirts are reasonably priced.
A little bit more active music than we're used to. All right. So somebody responded to the dropped frame script that said they're actually having, if it was rendering or encoding, but one of those things. So to do that, so that's the same, that's the same. We're not actually going to have, I mean, we could, well, we'd have to add something that could maybe cause some rendering lag. I don't think we're going to get encoding lag. Well, I could probably set this to like record some ridiculous bitrate or something. Maybe I could get some encoding lag. Of course, that might be affecting my entire computer. So I don't know if that will actually, I mean, we're still at 0.7 milliseconds. I don't know if we're actually going to get any frames missed out of that. I'd probably have to add some browser sources or something to even push it a little bit. But I can set up the dummy data. So probably don't want to change the name. Okay. Oh, so you are actually set up to not print anything. Oh, and I did a script error. Excellent. All right. So first step, output mode, sample seconds. For simplicity, I'm going to have to make that the same. Dropped frame. Dropped frame. Dropped frame. Dropped frame. All right, so we reload that. We're actually getting some stuff printing. You can put it into test mode. And I did completely remove the source for this. And we got all that stuff. And we were messing with alarm level. Dropped frame alarm level. Do I maybe have to touch properties to... Okay, yep, that's that. We'd not actually identified an alarm. Maybe this wasn't printing alarm when it went off, and the other one was. Oh, and this alarm probably needs to have its source changed as well. We had that problem when we actually published the script. Yep. Okay, there's the initial one. Play alarm. Set alarm visible. Okay, yep, there it goes. So for the most part, I don't need that actually playing. I guess I do. Because I don't have the text alarm here. Let's try play alarm. Script, log, alarm. Yep, there we go. All right, so now we don't necessarily need to have that. All right, drop frames. Oh, and how is... Yeah, these are all small enough things that the amount of text here shouldn't matter. And this project should probably edit.get ignore star.zip. Rename alarm level to be specific to dropped frames. All right, so now we do dropped frame alarm. Well, I need settings for that, but first of all, I forgot to even look. Well, update. This is specifically update frames. It's frames for rendering and encoding too. So I could do fake stuff, but if we can't get the data, what does it matter? So this is the output API. And we had to get total frames, which total frames, yeah. Probably need that. Get settings. Oh, the encoder might be from the encoder. Oh, and actually is the output even responsible for rendering? No, it is not. What is the terminology for this? Frames missed and skipped. Video output get skipped frames. Media I/O. What's video output? Is there a video? No, I feel like I've run across a video T somewhere. Video output handler. So that's actually the encoder. Let's have a look at encoder. What does it make available? No. Well, you know what? We could probably find the stats window. Got a separate window, so we still got the easy reference to that. Offsite. OBS Studio. Just open up a file. UI window basic stats. Render time. Oh no, that's the label. Okay. What's new stat? Q label. No new stat bear. 6 stats. Stat bear. Which is just top layout, add widget. Okay. None of this is. Yeah, okay. OBS output. Actually, where are you getting output from? Because that was something I could never. You pass it a label. Okay. Or you pass it an output, so we have to see where that did something. This might be a UI thing anyway. Okay. So we're looking at skipped frames and missed frames. Video output get total frames. Video output get skipped frames. Missed frames. Okay, and you get passed. Update. Total rendered comes from OBS get total frames, OBS get lagged frames. Oh, well, those are nice and easy. As long as those are exposed to this API. We cannot reuse. Oh, so I've got a frame history. Where do I actually... Ah, insert. Okay, so I was being a little bit lazy with this. Frames dropped. Dropped is fine. The output, rendering and encoding might be the same. We probably shouldn't count on it. I mean, they should be the same, but they're technically getting from different sources. Alright, so we also have to redo all of this. Which probably means you're going to have to be adjusted as well. For test purposes, fake frames is probably fine. Just use the same number for all of them. Alright, that's frame history, so now we have to look for everywhere where we might be using that. Right, equals output, output. This is output rate. Well, I might be able to generalize the concept of should we do an alarm. Putting that out could give us some information. Output. Output. I mean, congestion could stand on its own, but it's like it's an output thing. Scripts. Failed to call. I think I see an 82. What? Oh. Missed that one, and actually, you need to get updated as well. Empty index, local table, 177. 177. 177. 177. 177, go. Okay, fine. 177 enters. Alright, so table max is output frames. Not a reasonable error for that one. Bad argument to I pairs. Alright. Then the only question is... Alright, so is this because we messed up the graphics subsystem in the previous round? Well, there was no screen rendering, so that may have very well been the case. Okay. Also, we left our alarm on, even though it got disabled as a source. Alright, and no startup errors? Alright, so the... output of all the stuff, we seem to have tested that out. Rename frame stats to avoid ambiguous names. All right, so now update frames. We can do oh, this is where we find out if these are actually available to scripts. Local So we need a fake lagged. Fake lagged. All right, so there's the output. Actually, these are kind of going the other way in the rendering pipeline. So fake lagged, fake lagged. Just get total frames. Rendered feels a little awkward. Equals faked, lagged, and then fake frames. Oh, fake frames we need to do once. And then render frames equals fake frames. Just reuse the count for all those. And then for reals, render frames equals OBS get total frames. Render lagged equals OBS get lagged frames. Okay. Nothing blew up. We're not printing this anywhere. Oops. Render lagged render frames. Space wouldn't hurt, but wait, what? Oh, I don't have the stats window in this one. What? Oh, because these are I'm doing fake right now. So it's just choosing some random numbers. So if we turn you back to live, oh, it's OBS dot. Okay, now those are reasonable numbers. So that is that is the ability to correct render information. Now what did we need? Proof of concept. Collect render stats. You are useless. Okay, your depth frame. Back to Windows Basic Stats, and it was missed and skipped. Video output get skipped frames. What's the video object? Oh, it's a member variable, but it's OBS get video. That's something you can do easily. That is OBS get video supposed to have a cleanup on it. Actually, does video info? No. No indication that it's reference counted. How about... Okay, no indication that there's a reference counter for that. So we need, that's all, we're going to need a fake, fake skipped. Encoder skipped. Gonna look a little bit like this. And slagged with skipped. And Actually, it's going to look a little bit more like this because I'm going to have to do local video equals obs.obs get video if video not equal to nil, then yeah. Render encoder. Lagged skipped. But these are totally different calls. All right, OBS. Dot video output get total frames. Oh, I already did skipped. Video output. You need a parameter. Encoder. Encoder skipped. I have to do my placements on this. Encoder frames. To call video output get. Oh. 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 I don't need the spam. All right, video. OBS video isn't mapped. I might be able to FFI it. As long as we just treat video as an opaque pointer. What projects did bitrate calculator have? Oh no, that was the we need the script. Did you have some FFI stuff in it? Yes, you did. Yep. And oh look, it was video output stuff. Struct video output, type struct video output video T. Okay. Then we grab these. Oh, and I had to do OBS get redo OBS get video because it required compatible pointers for FFI. All right, and this is, did I call this OBS FFI or, yes I did. OBS FFI. Let's just pop in and provide some feedback. FYI, second time I have used FFI for video output in a script. To get basic stats. Frame rate and skipped frames. Let's actually double check that this works. Well, it's definitely the second time I've wanted to. Oh, and I turned off the print because it was getting spammy. Dump. I really should get around to removing dump at some point. Okay, that's an increasing number. All right, that's just API feedback. Oh, and we actually have to insert all this stuff into our table. That we could probably go ahead and do. So this was render frames equals render frames, render lagged equals render lagged. Encoder frames equals encoder frames. Encoder skipped equals encoder skipped. Wrong OBS. Proof of concept, collect, collecting encoder, skipped frames. And before I forget, I really should. All right, for now, do it here. Dump OBS. Oh, heck, take the whole thing. I don't think we'll need that. Script log. Gonna need you. Dump. Oh, you know what we could do? I could actually make this a button so that you could leave it loaded for convenience. Dump all values in the OBS library to the script log. The script properties. We've got a button in here, right? Oh, we don't have a button in here. Oh, no, there we do. Test alarm. Dump. OBS table. Dump the OBS library to the script log. And actually, I should probably say exposed symbols. Dump all, yeah, it's not values. Dump all symbols exposed. Actually, it is values for some things, isn't it? For the simple enumerations. We're not going to have a defaults. We're not going to have an update. We're not really going to have a load or an unload. We're definitely not going to have a source def. And really, I don't see any reason to shut that off because it doesn't automatically do anything. We were in dropped frame alarm. And we need to have takes a few seconds when run. All right. Yeah, it didn't actually pop up usefully there. Now, I don't know if that's publishable. but I've been kind of carrying it around in my stuff. So for now, I'll have to take it out because I'm going to move it. That can just go to Documents. And then Dump can be removed from this and all other scripts. Extract dump OBS to its own script. Get video. Yes, I did change that to FF5. That's right. Okay, everything's fine. So we would need to get actual alarms going for these and see about some kind of video output for them. So, lagged frame, skipped frame. I guess that stays the same for now. So check alarm. It's kind of if any of the conditions. Oh, output rate should be. Oh, because that was output rate. So we need render rate and encoder rate. Output render output encoder oh, I also have to get all of these frames. Oh, and we're doing division. So this can't be a simple return anymore. Kind of wondering if I should be recording these as like total error pairs. Which would allow me to, well, it'd allow me to do some generalization, but I wouldn't be able to do extract series as easily. So, render. Encoder. S dropped, lagged, dropped, skipped. Yeah, no, extract series would still work on that. It's just past the sub-object. Because if it was somewhat more generic, I could just say, hey, what's the rate? This is really the only place I have to deal with it. But we're going to have to do if render frames less than 1, then render rate equals 0, else render rate so actually this is the pattern for everything now. So then you become S render encoder lagged is skipped render S render output and lagged is dropped. So render. Yeah, I've had some. Greater than lagged if encoder rate greater than skipped but that makes it indent dependent. All right, and then dropped frame. Lagged frame. No, this is actually... Oh, did I do these as... Yes. Percent... Oh. We need to be a little bit more precise here. Percentage of frames missed due to rendering lag. And we do have the odd one, interestingly enough. All right, so and actually, do I output mode? Alarm media source could get longish, but we could actually say rendering, encoding, network. It's output, but its network is probably more more relevant. Percentage of frames missed due to encoding lag. Percentage of frames missed due to output network errors. But you need to be skipped frame. Lag skip dropped, lag skip dropped. Set the defaults. Read back the values. Oh, there's two of these. Dropped. Skipped. I'm not going to deal with graphics yet. Ew. You don't handle the multi-line ifs. Well, that's obnoxious. What? Oh, it's not. It's not that. Okay. Oh. 153. Should definitely not be nil. Output, render, output, encoder, render lagged, encoder skipped. All right, who's nil? Render rate. How can you be nil? Oh no, render rate. Wait, render... Alright, so... bugger off. Render rate equals 0. So we're going to have to say... Well, this is a number, so we should be able to say greater than 0. Okay, yes, the current number should be that. And it's going to appear negative because we had the wrong numbers in there. Or the old live numbers for a bit. But after 60 seconds, those should roll out. There we go. And we've got a constant number of frames that we're processing. Now, if we're in test mode, I never set up a script log to trigger the alarm, did I? So let's set U to 100. Wrong OBS. Play alarm, set alarm visible. Right, activate alarm? Okay, yeah, that works. I guess I got a little impatient there. Ow! Ow! Render lagged, render frames. Render frames is greater than 0. What? Because we left the local there when we moved the code up. So it created a new local in a new block. Thanks, Lua. And I guess it was kind of doing just what I told it to. Okay, you can activate the alarm. Okay, we're getting the active there. I guess I didn't wait long enough for the alarm to go off. Right, because I didn't have anything to... Wait. Why are you still active? I might have to put the trigger level on here. What? How? Okay, one of these is still 0. So something's messed up with our lagged frame alarm level. Lagged frame alarm level, lagged frame alarm level. Oh, look at the lagged dropped frame alarm level. That was just straight up string. Okay, now we can actually test you firing. There we go. And then I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with drawing it now, so I don't actually want alarm going off. No, I need the update frames, I think. Oh no, this is check alarms. And then the active is like just too much. Spammity spam spam spam. Alright, we saw an alarm go off. So well, that's still good. Okay, commit minus M. Trigger all alarms based on rendering and encoding lag. And then, is there anything useful we can stick in the graph? They won't stack as nicely. Also, I'm going to have a way to color code things. Unless I have a separate graph for every stage. You know what? Graphs can have properties. So you could actually have multiple instances of this and turn on different layers. That might be a better way to go about it, because I would be making decisions for everyone. Also, is a color picker a thing I can do? Because that would be kind of cool. Is that for... Ah, that's other stuff, but I probably should put on that. Okay, there was no feedback there. I'll have to deal with that off stream. We were looking up properties. This is plugin properties. So I guess I should probably change my... So what we're doing right now is more like custom source, drawing, and properties. All right, properties API. Properties add color. What's the type of the property, though? Well, we can look at what a color source does. Properties add color, and it's color. So we should have similar... Well, data is ultimately what's going to have that, right? But they call it context. They switch over to context. Context color. Vec4 from RGBA. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to do that, maybe. Get width, get height. Defaults. Oh, they're storing it as an int. Is it color source? Is there an update? Color source update. From settings. Okay, so color properties also store as an int. Properties. Properties add color. Oh, and they're doing some translation stuff, which, I mean, maybe we should deal with that someday. And hopefully this won't cause me any trouble here. All right, so this would be for every graph. Okay, so let's start by getting it to render all of the things with some arbitrary colors. Also, I'm going to have to pick an arbitrary ordering of things. That would be a bit tricky to do. Well, no, I could do it like layer 1, select which thing you want to render. But actually, if the color picker can pick alpha, which can it? Nope. Color source. We've got intensity, alpha channel. Yes, it can. Then I don't even have to worry about the alpha level of the different layers. So that'll allow you a certain degree of prioritization on them. And in a pinch, you could always have separate sources and reorder them. So yeah, that'll work. So step 1, get the render. Oh, we've got multiple renders now. To actually draw. Okay, frame history. Output frames, output dropped. I know, you know what, that's... Output frames, output dropped. Where's the output congestion? Oh, no, this is getting it for scale. Oh, did I? Matrix scale, max output frames. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Well, we'll have to we scale the entire thing. Matrix push. Matrix push. Pop, pop. Right, because then it's a number of frames. Wait, I scale it to output frames. Oh, and then I have to scale this to U. Oh, no, that's the X scale. Okay. Which is just... really flame history. We should be clearer about it. Then we took congestion as a simple 0, 1. Colors we eventually want to customize. Then we go into this context, scale that to the table max of output frames. And actually, since we don't need that till here, now we can move this down to where it makes more sense. Should probably make sure that that actually still works. Okay, dummy data coming in. Oh, and it's echoing down the screen capture. Well, you know what? I just added the screen capture to maybe add some rendering lag. I think we're beyond that. Or there was so little it didn't really matter. All right, so you scale to this. So you know what? This is going to be... Well, I could just pass the field values in. And the color. Yeah, local. Actually, I think there's 2 ways to do this. How have I been doing functions in here? So those are those functions. Just function? Video render, that's what it was. Function. What is this? This is area chart, I guess, of value total color. All right. So now this is just going to be frames. Total. This is just going to be errors. Or this could be values. I don't know. Value in values set color. Oh, I'm going to want to grab you. For reference. All right. Actually, this is really close to what congestion is doing, except for that scale. I guess I can include a constant term. Area chart, output, dropped, output frames. Actually, I guess I could just do OBS set color. Oh wait, did I not remove? Okay, yep, there's a different color. No, not that window. Actually, I kind of don't need that window right now. There's the yellow. Oh, I broke something. Oh, you mean like effect solid? Or color param? Okay, you know what? That's easy enough. To just do outside and not parameterize. But I am going to have to, well, or I take effect solid outside of it as well. It's not a huge piece of code. Oh, as long as that works outside the matrix, that is the question. Ow? Does not seem to work outside the matrix. And I moved this instead of... Alright, so this has to be inside this matrix context. Which means that either we constantly reacquire the effect solid, or we pass it in. All right, we got our yellow back, and we got our red back. So now, it should be pretty trivial, and the colors are kind of arbitrary right now. Since it will, well, I'm gonna have to pick defaults at some point. S render S output. Just render, right? Output, encoder, and actually, that's the order we usually write it in. I don't know if that's going to make sense. It's all fake data right now. Oh. Wait. 236? What? And we've probably borked the graphics system. Okay, my alarm was visible. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's not render dropped, it's render lagged and encoder skipped. Okay, there's some blue. There's some green. It's a bright green. Oh. The congestion should probably be near the network stuff. Yeah, actually, I guess I should kind of order that in back, because it's going to be like the most common. The others would kind of show up on top of it. Because the other types should actually be exceedingly rare. And I kind of want to completely reverse the order, because it's like the opposite of the order they occur in. And then at some point, I'm going to have to pick defaults for the colors. And I guess I could do like orange and purple, since they're all kind of bad values. All right. Layered rendering. Of graph. All right, so now properties. Properties add color. Oh, I probably haven't set up any like property callbacks or anything for this yet. Source depth, get width, get height, video render. Wait, did I even end up? Okay, you don't use this. I didn't even end up using this. That was just some leftover stuff from testing. Remove unused functions. All right, so source def. Dot. And I've done this in other projects. Script mic check. Source settings has all the property stuff. Script. Name, create. We are going to have to do some data stuff. And then clean up the data stuff. Okay, so get defaults. Equals function settings. Script log filter. Well, this is I'm not doing any other logging right now. OBS data set default int settings render color or is it lagged color or dropped color? I've been calling it lagged color. And the default is lagged color. Oh, I need to get my alpha right too. I was using CC. You end up being green. I don't know if that's the color I want. Skipped color. That ended up being blue. Dropped color. Ended up being red. And actually I should probably make, maybe congestion should be green, because that's the easiest thing to sort of do that. It's not an error, it's just a condition. And a congestion color. Dropped color. Yeah, I don't know. Then which one should be yellow? I guess you could look yellow and purple, or both? Variations on red. It's kind of 6 of one, half dozen the other, which is which. What did my person specifically ask for? Oh, this is another response. Encoder stalls. So it's a specific hysteresis and variant for how many alerts per sample period. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Hysteresis would be a whole nother project. All right, so this can go. How do you even spell that? Hysteresis, alarm repeat rate. All right. So he was specifically worried about encoder, which is this. So that would be a nice one to have, oops, yellow, and then you can be purple by default. All right, get defaults, get properties. Function just data for now. So actually, yeah, we have to have this, which is actually going to kind of have to be the same defaults. Flagged color. I could do color dot, because I actually have to translate these out, but this is the most direct way to do it. Dropped. Congestion. So skipped is dropped is, and congestion is there. So then we set the defaults, and then you get properties gets the data. Actually, I don't need the data. Local props equals obs.obs properties create. Local label. Oh, actually, that's an interesting thought. I was thinking about, I don't know if I'm going to deal with it, but if you go into output, advanced, oh no, I'm specifically looking up the streaming output. Coder, use stream encoder. Just to make that different. What does that do to the stats panel? Well, okay. Anywho, this isn't a label. So lagged color equals obs.obs.properties add color, probably props with lagged color. And does it have anything initially? And a text description. Rendering. Rendering lagged color. And description, set long description. Graph color for fraction of lagged frames due to rendering lag. All right, lag color, skipped color, dropped color, congestion color, encoder, skipped, refraction of skipped frames due to encoding lag, dropped color. Oh, I can check the color to see if it's fully transparent and just optimize it out. Graph color for fraction of dropped frames due to output network issues. And change to congestion. Network congestion color for congestion reported by network output. Oy, is that it? I'm going to have lots of errors now. I can see it. Error loading file. 380. Commas. Okay. Hey, I probably haven't run the property code yet. I'll say, oh, it's probably not source def. No, it's source def. But it did not recognize get properties. Oh, also, I probably have to have the update function. Properties won't do me a whole lot of good without that. Properties.update. Source def dot update equals function data settings and script update is going to look a little bit like this. So render lag, no, it's lagged color equals get data int. Data dot lagged color. Lagged color. Lagged, skipped, lagged, dropped, flagged congestion. Oh, $3.99. This is actually something else. OBS.OBS. That would be a better explanation for why I didn't get any properties. We're going to need the update anyway. Okay, so these did not get properly synced. So I have defaults. I have my data, which gets updated from so that should be pretty straightforward. This might have been a startup problem, so let's make a new one. That's more like it. Add source, add graph source properties and data. And then we just have to use it. Oh, yep. And actually, I need to refresh that. So actually, it's probably a good time for a break. Welcome back. And we're kind of in the middle of that. That back on top. Okay, so I got some of my windows peeking out over here. So now we want to, I'm assuming that my render function gets the data. Video render data. Oh, no, I guess the data, which has already been pulled out by update. Video render. We'll start by just rendering everything. Data dot congestion color. Data dot dropped color. Data dot skipped color. Data dot lagged color. Okay, that was actually, well, doing just that was straightforward. Getting everything else. I don't remember doing a cayenne. Oh, yep, I did do that. So that has no red in it. So I actually want that to be you. So that way we're kind of right all across the board. So we need that one. And I'll probably have to fix up this manually. Well, it's never saved settings so far. Oh, okay, I haven't actually saved settings yet. Right, yellow is the one I was more specifically concerned about by the request. And if we don't like it, R? Okay, so I have to do a color conversion. There was something about that in the color picker. Something about, and like an RGBA. Vec4 from RGBA. Maybe that color didn't exist then? Update. That just saves the color. Oh, so I was saving my data values as that. Now the source is showing. So the alpha is the same. Well, the color's all wrong, so it's hard to tell which layer it is. Was this faster? Yeah, this was just faster. That's why I was thinking I could go through it pretty quick. Okay, so alpha's in the same spot. But... So the most direct solution here is to reverse the colors. Or the easiest solution is just to follow the color picker. which means I'm going to have to reverse all of these colors to match this format. So like a straight up red is so what's weird is that that seems to be kind of a blue. But that's the exact same integer format that I've been using. What? Yeah, so that's red, and that was blue. So it's drawing it back as this. Oh, no. Wait, rendering lagged. Did I reload? Did I reload without errors? Whoa. Default's probably fired an update. Because I initially had that. Rendering lagged. What? Lag, skips, dropped congestion. What? Also congestion color, what the heck? Oh, I am in fact missing an F. That one's fine. So that's part of the problem with the defaults. Really? Okay, that's better defaults. And that's also purple. And that... Was this like some color combinations messing with me? Okay. Wait, so that was red, that was red. So it wasn't pushing setting updates initially. What's confusing me is like this is showing the value I put in here. Well, that one's technically symmetrical. So what I probably need to do is make my front layer blue. I'm going to reset it to defaults. Oh, nope, wrong default. Make sure everybody's in agreement. Okay. Oh, so okay, so it is reversing the colors in here. Huh? Or just it's displaying them reversed. But those are not the colors I intended. So I am going to have to... So it's... No, it's displaying... The color picker is displaying red. And it's showing what looks like the hex value I'm putting in. But what we're actually getting, I'm going to guess... and I'm not sure if the sources are updating here. Does Lua have a utility function for that? They've got a string formatting library, I think. Or a string formatting facility. Standard library. String.format. Printf family. I think, is that X? %8x? Or does that have to be 0.8x? Extra parenthesis. Okay, so that is, yes, that is definitely returning things in a different byte format than what it's displaying. And the easiest way to do this would be to do what color source does. Vec4 from RGBA, and then GS effect set Vec4. Oh, but I have to pass a color val to that. Oop, I didn't actually put... Oh, no, I'm going to have a bunch of nasty color stuff in this setup. Local color val equals OBS dot vec4. OBS dot vec4 from RGBA. Data lagged color. OBS dot GS set vec4 color val, color param. Proof of concept. Oh, 476. Oh, up. Lua. Not C. Oh, no, that's dropped color. Oh, because this is actually the order they rendered in. All right, that's actually kind of doing what we expect now. And it was originally a version of purple as sort of the default. But there's enough stuff that it's kind of getting worth it to pass the color param through, so I can just deal with this all in one spot. Well, I'll still have to deal with it in two spots, because we've got congestion. Congestion color, and... So affect color param. Oh, I have to pass color param and color. And I have no precedent for for storing these as like part of the data or something. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, that's so ugly. Output frames, data dot dropped color, color param. Data dot skipped color param. Data dot lagged color param. Okay, no complaints yet. All right, encoder. Oh, all my defaults are messed up now. And encoder, we were doing yellow. And network, we're doing red. And congestion, we're doing green. Now, though, just on my defaults to reverse their bit patterns. No, lagged was the purple, which actually is symmetric. You are 00FF, you are 0000FF, you are symmetric. You're 00FF, 00FF, you are symmetric. Scripts, refresh, create you from scratch to make sure the defaults are good. And then reset to defaults. Okay, cool. Now, view stats. Yeah, without the screen capture, I haven't had any rendering lag. So if we go back to this and do tools, switch you to live. And hopefully that doesn't break rendering too much. Interesting how the other layers overwrote more easily. Now, what it's going to take to actually get some rendering lag, I don't know. It was probably like changing windows and stuff. I just know I'd seen some. Oops, that was a little bit too big. Oh yeah, there's a little dip in that number too. And of course, we're not streaming right now, so there's nothing there. All right. There's actually no data to remove there. Script.update had a print in it. Use setting colors when drawing graphs. Now, can we test for full alpha 0 to optimize rendering? Well, oh, you would hope OBS did that. I mean, we could still just do a lot less in terms of iterating points and stuff. That would be the bit library, right? Let's test this in the update, because that's not going to happen as often. So bit.band data.lagged color, and then I need to know what the rest of the stuff is. It's utility library, right? Well, here. Oh, is that a Lua thing? Is that an FFI thing? And that's FFI bit. Lua bitop. Oh, 2 hex. Kind of nice. Bandbor. I guess I just see if it's not 0. Yeah, we could just say if equals 0, then script log invisible, else script log visible. Okay, no errors yet. Invisible? It was C visible. Okay, so that's how we can check to see if a particular layer is even visible. So the chart thing, given a color, can just do a quick check equals 0, then return. It's an invisible layer. And is color. Oh, that's data.lagged color. Data. Congestion color not equal to 0. Then we do that layer. And up in chart, I actually have to do the parameter. Yep. 471. What? Nope. I'd swear I was going for that one. So now, if we do that, and congestion, just make sure you handle, okay, no errors anyway. So you could, if you wanted, set up separate sources for everyone and have them only render the point of interest. Now, checkboxes would make a better UI for that, but I guess I just don't think there's going to be that many people doing super fancy arrangements like that. I guess if they're only looking for like the encoding rate, and they wouldn't want to see the other stuff. Okay. I know it, I guess as a little detail, we should put this back into scripts, test, and make sure that everything is still rendering. Okay. Optimize out layers if alpha is 0. Is this doing anything to... Nope, not really affecting the render frame or render time. All right. Time is going pretty good. Let's Oh, actually what I do still need to do is we have to update script description. If you start losing frames, if you start losing frames due to rendering, encoding, or network output. Source has a setting for color of each layer. Rendering lag, encoding lag, dropped frames, and congestion. Oh, you know what? Those are numeric color codes. A little UI improvement in here would be to actually have a color patch on this somewhere. But that's probably a Qt control. So that would be up to, properties, color. That might just be a QT thing. Swig Lua const bs Python logs scripting another enum properties view. It is a button, it is a color label. It's a button, a label, a Q color. Palette. Color label button. Oh. Oh, maybe all properties get this label for free, and then this is the custom rendering part. Well, that could be a project. Meanwhile, rendering lag, default purple, magenta. Encoding lag, default yellow, dropped frames, default red, and congestion, default green. Super pleasing colors, no. I mean, I could look up a color palette, but usually they're going to... a 4-color palette. They're going to all kind of match, so I'm not well, the color assignments are pretty arbitrary. I kind of want drop frames to be red, but that's about it. Color scheme designer. That's a designer. I want more like... color palettes. It'd be nice if you could search by number of colors. Like these guys are always 5 colors, and I guess some people just blank them out. So I'm going to get a little bit softer colors. But having 5 really bothers me. And they probably... Can we search by number of colors? Use. Nope. Interesting that some of them rebalance. Although it seems to be a lot of 5s again. I guess that's the big thing for color palettes is 5 colors. That's pretty close to what I got. Oh, this is designed around a big black background. Or to be minors to a purple background. All right, so how would that look if we... Well, you know, we've got change control. So no, actually, OXCC is what all these were. Oh, that's going to be RGB format, so I have to reverse these. Actually, these aren't going to matter because it's going to load settings for the, or we can hit default. So if we go with roughly the same kind of assignments, no. Although this is set up for a definite sort of gradient. So we've got a green. So that would actually make dropped frames yellow. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to rotate it around. All right, congestion color. Oh, wait, okay. OF 9B 8A. So dropped frames would be 5015 BD. Skipped. Yep. Oh, that's going to kind of put yellow in the middle. Yeah, so actually make this skipped the orange. O2 7F E9. And then no. F8 00 F8CA. Oh, we moved this over. Okay. But we didn't move scripts over. I closed scripts. Okay, defaults did not work how I expected. I would expect this to do get defaults and then to update things. Well, all right, so we can force this. Which is weird because defaults were working before. Oh, or maybe... Yeah, okay, sure. So that's a bit more mellow. Or it's not as harsh. Probably doesn't work as well in transparency. Ooh. And that dark red. Also, if I do a windowed projector on this, that red may be a little bit dark. So I might actually want something like the yellow and the orange for the ones I really care about. And actually, that would kind of get congestion, dropped frames. And you got that dark red for the rendering lag. Alright, so actually those colors are going to be the hardest thing to move around now. So congestion stays green, dropped becomes yellow, skipped stays the same. Scripts. Reload. Everything's still okay. Properties. Defaults. I guess it's tied into the source. Is it not like cleaned it up yet? Well, fine. So that makes the dropped frames stand out pretty good. And then we'll get those darker colors as we get into the other earlier parts of it. So that might work. Interesting. Oh, this is the name? Anyway. README. I still have to update this too. Default colors. Oh, that's an Hey, Timotul. How you doing? That's an unencoded parenthesis, which I don't think will go well in Markdown. Doing pretty good. I mean, I was able to get the numbers. I had to use a little bit of FFI. Or the metrics I wanted. So URL encoding. Reserved characters. That did not get properly copy-pasted. Wait, what's the... What's with the underscores? Are those supposed to... Maybe that's actually translating? I don't know. Okay, maybe it is. By... All right, so we've got that. We've got a URL reference if we need more of it. I could potentially go back and use this as a default background color if we need to do that. I think we're done with you. All right, so script, we were setting the description. So actually, what would you call the... They had names for them. I don't know if that's going to be super instructive to most people. Oh, actually, I still need to set my source def, set these defaults to be... there's no easy way to do this. 5015 BD. 027F E9. 00F8 CA. 0F9 B8A. So, if we go back to scripts, go to yeah, you've been reset to default, so let's add a new one. Okay, and it comes in with those colors. See, the layering, I think, suggests those are all correct. So I'll have to see how I feel about the actual colors. Take some getting used to. So script description. So actually, I can kind of do two things here. So rendering lag is kind of a purple. Encoding lag is a kind of orange. Dropped frames is a kind of yellow, and congestion is a kind of green. So this was the biggest change. So we lose that. Plays an audio alarm when rendering, encoding, or network lag is detected. All right. So get status, get diff. So I did too much there at once. Update. Docs and color palette. All right, so now we should be, don't be too surprised to disappear. Be safe to reload this so that I will start actually using this color scheme. And maybe we'll see if, what does stats look like? I've had 1 frame for rendering lag. So, don't know if I ever would have seen that. Still has a little bit of spike in the congestion though. All right, so that's probably going to be all we can do today. So I can repeat rate might actually be very easy. What is what was this? It depends on the state of the system on its history. Hysteresis curve. So does that mean smoothing it out? Unwanted frequent switching. I think my hysteresis is the sample window. And actually it does lag a little bit. Like when things fix up, it can take a while for the buffer to flow out. So I'm going to have to ask him what he means by that. Now the alarm reset time. Check alarm is probably just... Okay, activate alarm, play alarm, play alarm. Yep, so this is actually just... would be almost trivial to add. Okay, so that's closely related to that. That's related to the alarm itself. What does the script panel look like? This made my text unfortunately large. But there's no room for description on the source. So, yeah, having that as a break would probably be good. Alarm, repeat. Yep. Alarm source. Alarm source. We need a thing kind of like this. Oops. What's my sample period? I set it to like 5 minutes there. This could conceivably be longer than that. Number of seconds before repeating alarm. If condition remains true. Maybe by hysteresis he meant if you were kind of constantly alarming and not alarming. So like the repeat period would go over its range? I don't know. All right, so alarm source, default, int, alarm repeat, and I should set it to 60. And this is a get int. And yeah, sample seconds. All right, so refresh, no errors. Oop. Okay, sure. So let's set this to alarm, set seconds to 10, and we're in test mode. Oh, but that gets set up when it starts. So we're probably going to have to repeat once first. So during an event, you have no way to reset the alarm. That's... We could actually fix that. Script update. If alarm active, then OBS timer remove. Tools, scripts. All right, there's one. All right, so that seems reasonable. Now we set this to a long field. 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 9, 10. And then we set it back to like a 10. I guess I could have even done less. All right, that seems to be working. And then we'll just, you know, shut that off. And not have this playing every time we start up. Settable alarm repeat rate. And that's probably a pretty good time to wrap it up. That's, I mean, I might check on what he meant by hysteresis, but that's basically something that we could push as, I think that's kind of a 2.0. We can change what some settings are so that they'll have to be redone. Change the color scheme. Added a ton of stuff. Okay. Thanks to Lizzie Live, SES Dev, Dog and Lake, Cat Knox, Big Purple Bubble, Ocerat Gaming, One Jelly Bean, Deadly Tacos, Stormy Ice Leopard for hosting me. Typically don't end up. Let's see, did I get that compiled? Doing coding on Sunday. Schedule from videos. Did I leave a good compile here? Yeah. So that's approximately when I'm live. Depending on weather, I might do something in the morning, but not likely. So usually coding in the mornings, gaming in the afternoons. Some days tend to be off. And I should probably get a link set up to that for me. At the moment, I don't know if there's anybody watching right now. Yeah, so given that I'm coming back later, that seems like not so great. Anyway, bye-bye.